Tonight, the Trump administration is threatening states that do not comply with their investigation into election security. As always, thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. The day after President Trump's primetime address on the matter, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary set their directives.
If states want the grant funding, to recap, they must secure the elections. The machines had to be secured, and that your voter registration list needs to be scrubbed.
Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen is threatening criminal penalties if the states do not comply.
If the election officials, once we gave them the information they need to secure their elections, and they chose not to, then those individuals can also be held accountable by fines, by penalties, and even, depending on how far it goes, prison time.
Last night in prime time, President Trump declassified documents he claims show vulnerabilities in election systems and the 2020 election. He called for Congress to pass the Save America Act. And in one instance, Trump said his administration found more than 250,000 non-citizens on the voter rolls, but the documents don't show exactly how they got those numbers. And at no point did the president prove people cast ballots who shouldn't have. Today, Governor Newsom tweeted his response to Homeland Security's Secretary's threat, saying, quote, "California has free, fair, and secure elections, and we will fight for them. Try us." He also released this video following the president's speech last night.
This is a serious and profound moment where we can either fall prey to cynicism, fear, and anxiety, or we can step up and step in, mobilize, organize, not agonize, and turn out in record numbers this November.
The governor calling on people to go out and vote for the midterms. But here in California, we also spoke with Republicans who responded to President Trump's address. ABC10's Jeannie Nguyen has been speaking to people all day and joins us now with what's been said.
Alex, the general consensus today was not so much agreeing with the president's claims about election fraud, but that he raises serious concerns about the safety and transparency part of the process.
The hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference, just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you.
Just a day after President Donald Trump addressed the nation about his concerns over the 2020 election, California Republican leaders have their own thoughts. Craig DeLuz is the Sacramento County Republican Party first vice chair.
I don't know that in most cases this is something that would be necessary. You would necessarily need a national a national address.
But DeLuz says the president brings up a valid point about existing vulnerabilities surrounding our elections.
These vulnerabilities exist, and the fact that there are entities that are seeking to take advantage of those vulnerabilities, I think he wanted to underscore how important it was that we address those.
Republican Assemblymember Carl DeMaio is behind Prop 39, which will appear on the ballot this November, and would require voters to present ID at the polls and make officials perform citizenship reviews of their voter lists. Following the president's address, DeMaio says he's frustrated with the partisanship in D.C.
Let's end the Democrats and Republican politicians fighting about election integrity, and let's just get on with it. Let's get it done. And the easiest way to do that is the Prop 39 initiative contains ideas that both Democratic voters and Republican voters and independents in between support.
And when it comes to independents, Congressman Kevin Kiley, a former Republican turned independent, says there are more serious issues at hand than continuing to talk about an election that happened 6 years ago.
We have a major highway bill that is passed out of my Transportation and Infrastructure Committee that still needs to get through the House and Senate and signed into law. So these are kind of the nuts and bolts of governing that we really should be focused on.
And California Republican Party Chairwoman Corinne Rankin would not do an interview with me, but she did provide a statement. Take a look. President Trump is right that every American must have full confidence that our elections are secure, honest, and counted accurately. In California, that starts with passing Prop 39, the voter ID initiative, and Congress must pass the Save America Act so every legal vote is protected, voter rolls are clean, and trust in our elections is restored. Now, I did ask to clarify on whether the California GOP agrees with the president on his claims about the 2020 election and if the party does not think that the state has secure and honest elections that are counted accurately. The party spokesperson would not clarify and just pointed me back to the statement. I also want to note that Republican Congressman Tom McClintock and James Gallagher declined an interview and to provide statements, Alex.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much.